Start a $1 million business this weekend. Yes, you can start a $1 million business this weekend. I did it and you can do the exact same thing too. It doesn't take a lot of time and it surely won't cost you a lot of money. I'm going to give you the exact steps so that you can do it too. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
So I'm just going to talk straight with you and tell you exactly how you can do this. This episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm just going to talk to you straight from my head. I have started so many businesses. In fact, I run more than 6 businesses right now, and I make more than $1 million per year in almost all of them. So yes, you can start a $1 million business in a weekend. Most people just don't think that they can, and they don't even try. But I am here to tell you it is absolutely possible and you can get it done really quickly. So let me tell you how to do it. Starting a business is actually very easy. Most people think that it is more difficult than it is. But in fact, if you have a computer or a phone, you can get it all done in a day in some cases, depending on what state you're in. You really just need an LLC or an S Corp or a C Corp. Again, I used an LLC when I got started, but because I'm not a lawyer or a tax advisor, Noel is not telling you exactly what type of business structure you should set up, but I'm telling you, you can get an LLC, which is what I did, really quickly. You can do an S Corp or a C Corp if you choose, but depending on what state you're in and what your tax liabilities are, you might want to get some professional help as to which one you did. But again, an LLC is usually really easy. You can go to the Secretary of State's website and get that set up all online. The next thing that you want to do is get your EIN number. This is your employer identification number. This is so easy and it's absolutely free. Your EIN will work as your social security number for your business. Now, you as a person, if you live in America, you have a social security number, and this is how we apply for credit. This is how we get benefits. We use our social security number to identify us on so many things. As a business, your EIN is almost like the same thing. And when you start to apply for credit cards or even business loans, they will ask you for your EIN instead of your social security number. So this is something that you want to do and you want to do immediately. And again, it's absolutely free. Then you can get a professional phone number, a professional email, and a professional website made for yourself. So this is very easy to get done. It doesn't take very long. You don't have to be an expert or a techie to make a website. I don't necessarily make websites, and I'm not suggesting that you do, but there's tons of people that make websites for really cheap. You can go to a site called Fiverr, Fiverr.com, and find people that can make you a website and even help you with your business starting at just $5. That's why they call the website that. So this is an easy and fast way to get your business set up in just a matter of minutes. The next thing that you want to do is use the tools that already exist. There are so many ways to start making money that I didn't even know about that I'm going to share with you. One of the recent ways that I've been able to increase my income tenfold is by using sites like Airbnb and Turo. Turo is spelled T-U-R-O. Now again, I am not endorsed or paid by either of these companies. This is just something that Noel does to make a ton of money, and I think that you should be doing it too. If you have a car, for example, it is true that most people's cars are parked 90% of the time. Using sites like Turo, you can put your car there and people can drive your car, and you can start making money off your car when you're not driving it. You can decide how much you're going to charge, who's going to be renting your car, and Turo even has insurance. This is the same thing for Airbnb. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of Airbnb, where you can rent out a room or your entire house and start making money and monetizing even just a room in your property. But this is an entire business for me, and now I've been able to scale it. So when I first started on Airbnb, I started small. I would just do some apartments, and now we have houses and duplexes, and now we even have entire complexes coming towards us asking us to do this business for us. I've taken that business where it was just making a few $1,000s a month to now $1 million business. And again, I started it in just a weekend, so you can do it too. These sites already exist, and it's absolutely free to list your house or your car on them. You can then turn this into a business and start getting more cars or more real estate to grow your business. And as you do this and you start making profits, people will lend you money to get more cars or houses, whichever one that you choose. So again, you can start $1 million business in just a weekend using websites that already exist, like Turo, Amazon, Airbnb, and other sites where you can start selling your products and your services. Many of these are absolutely free, and I encourage you to start checking them out and get involved. So before I give you some details on my latest thing on how I make a ton of money with cars, let me first tell you to like this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, make sure you click that little notification bell so you do not miss any of this content that I am bringing to you almost every single day, absolutely free. And more than anything, make sure you are sharing these videos with all of your friends and family so that they can benefit too. It is time for us to make a change. So before we end, let me quickly tell you on how I got started in Turo, because this is my latest venture and I make a ton of money off cars the same way that I do off real estate. In fact, I have cars that I make more money on than townhouses that I have. It's crazy. So Turo, like I said, is a site where you can put your own car up there. I did not start off with a Tesla or anything expensive. I have an entire video where I show you how I got a Tesla, and it's absolutely free for me by using Turo. But again, I did not start on Turo with a Tesla, okay? That's a $100,000 car. I started with just a Jeep. Okay? You don't have to have a really nice car in order to use Turo. You can have any type of car. As long as it's in good condition, people will pay for it. Now again, the more expensive and nicer the car, the more you can charge. But if you start smaller like I did with like a Jeep, you can start getting money. People will rent that car. Again, the same day that we listed that car, it was booked and we started making money. And if you're scared about people ruining or wrecking the car, please know that Turo does have insurance, just like Airbnb, to protect its hosts. So you don't have to feel like someone's going to just steal your car. That's a crime. So please don't worry about some of those negative things. Just protect yourself. I'm going to make entire videos where I teach you how to run an entire Turo business, because it is now something that I do that will soon be a multi-million-dollar a year business. But again, you can use Turo, and my stepdaughter actually got a brand new car and she put it on Turo immediately. She wasn't afraid. Again, she's a lot younger than I am, so she didn't have the fear. But she put her brand new Audi on Turo and she had the car note paid for in 1 weekend. Then she drove the car the rest of the time, those other 27 days, absolutely free. So this is something that you can do as a business or to just help with your finances. There's so many ways that you can start a business with just a side hustle and then turn that side hustle into a real $1 million business. So like I said, this was just an informal video that I wanted to make to share with you from my heart how to start a $1 million business and get going today. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, make sure you click that little notification bell so you do not miss any of this content that I'm bringing to you almost every single day, absolutely free. Noelle wants to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.